Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of All, and in this video we're having a look at how we can make some sci-fi Greebles. So Greebles is the name we give to these sort of panels that you often find on sci-fi designs. It just makes it look a little bit more busy and interesting, as if it's being cobbled together from lots of different bits, and I've got this structure that I'm trying to add some of these panels to. Now, I'm trying to make this as difficult as possible by putting this at an angle, and I'm doing that just so it's a bit easier to talk through some of the difficulties you might have and how to get around them. What we're going to do is cover the basics of this and how to make these sci-fi style Greebles, and then we'll talk about a slightly more advanced way that I think is a little bit better. Either way, they're pretty simple to do, so we should be able to manage this fine. So let's start. I'm going to bring my cursor to the selected, just somewhere there, and I'm going to bring in a plane. That's my starting point. And let's just G and bring that over to somewhere here, and let's scale it up because this is probably a little bit too small. Actually, that's probably too big. Maybe somewhere there. Then I'm going to rotate this round 90 degrees on the x-axis, so it's facing this. Now, this is going to be a problem in this instance, but we'll talk about that in a second and how we're going to solve it. So, what we need to do is firstly get this automatically going to this plane. We're going to do that by adding a modifier. In fact, almost all of this is modifiers and then some tinkering at the end. So we're going to be doing a shrink wrap modifier. So get that. I'm going to select that this is going to go here as the target. Now, mine's going to look a little different to yours because I'm using the add-on modifier list. It's included with Blender. Well, you just need to go to extensions and type in modifier list, and it will just be there. Oh, I need to update this, that's exciting. Anyway, I'll leave it as it is for now, but you will have a button that says install there, and you just need to install it, and this is way better in my opinion. It has some really good other perks. I'll put some links in the description of me using that. But anyway, so at the moment this is perfectly on this face, and we don't want that, or at least I don't, because I'm going to be 3D printing this. So we're going to add an offset and just make it go a little bit inside. So we're just going to set it back a little bit. Then we need to have this, well, sticking out, so we need to add some thickness to this. So we're just going to add in a solidify modifier. And again, this is all modifiers. We want this in the positive direction, so I'm going to change the offset just there to 1, and then I can change the thickness to whatever I want my thickness to be. Now do bear in mind that this will be out of scale at the moment because I've scaled this up. So Control and A, apply the scale, and now I've got a real view of how thick this is. And I want this maybe, let's say 1mm in thickness, and that's what my units are set to. Now, once we've got this done, this is really easy. All we do is go into vertex mode, and we can change anything we want. For example, I could, I don't know, Control and R, select those, E, and extrude those up. So we've got a bit more extra panel there. I could select here, and then Shift and D, bring that along the x-axis, and then E, and then X and more along. And you can see each time this is making a panel that's stuck to this surface. What do I want to do here? Let's just Shift and D, and then Z that up. That needs to come along a bit, so somewhere there. And then maybe I can join these together and probably get rid of that vertex, and then E and Z that up, and we've got another set of panels. Now, if I want this to be perfectly aligned, I'll probably use something like machine tools, and then Alt and A, and then drag that to there, and now everything's aligned, and I've got these cool looking panels. So, what do we need to fix about this? Well, firstly, this is going to be slightly off, and the reason for this is, if I go into vertex mode or any mode, that we've got these at an angle. Now, what I'm going to do is just isolate these, and we can sort of see this in demonstration, and the fact that this has got a little bit of a taper to it, which we don't want. Now, there's two ways of fixing this. The first is to actually just rotate this round. You can see as I rotate this, oops, let's just go into X-ray mode and select everything. Rotate this round, you can see it getting bigger as I get closer to the perfect angle, and then it will start getting smaller again. So we can kind of guesstimate this to be about there, and that works fine. Now, what I've done here is entirely wrong, or I'd suggest is wrong, because I've done this in edit mode. You don't want to do this in edit mode. Let me explain why. We want to be able to make, well, more of these panels. So if instead I select this, and then we can still just click R and rotate this, it will still work fine. But now when I get it to the right point, somewhere there, what I can do now is change my transforms to the local axis, and that means that it will be moving along the axis of this object, which means that when I select this, I don't know, whatever, these two bits here, and Shift and D, and then I'm probably going to need to Y, there we go. You can see that this is doing it, let's Shift and D and Y again, on the correct axis. So that means that this is now really easy to keep on going. So that's why we want to shift the whole object. Now, if we want to be more precise about this, what we could do instead, let's just delete this out, is create a plane directly where we want it to be. So what I'm instead going to do is go to face, select that, Shift and S, bring my cursor to the face, and then now when I Shift and A and bring in my plane, I'm going to come here. If you can't see this, if it's really small, just click there, and I'm going to change my alignment to the 3D cursor. And now it's already facing the right direction. You can scale this up and apply the scale if you want to. And now it's basically where we want it to be already, so we don't need to do the shrink wrap. Now, I still like to do the shrink wrap. I like bringing it out to here so I can see everything really clearly, and then shrink wrap this to that object, do the offset, tiny little bit in, and then once again, do the solidify. And that means that whenever I come to edit this, it's really nicely, well, just here basically, it's all offset and it makes it easier to see. Now that's a personal preference. You don't have to do it this way, but I like that. I think it makes it a lot easier to do. Let's just make a couple of panels. We're just going to demonstrate what I think is a slightly better way to do this, and we'll talk about why this is better to do. Let's just Shift and D, and then we'll go there, and then E, and then Y that up there. Now, just as a side note, if you really want to, you can also do things like add in edge loops. Let's bevel that out to make the gap. Let's go to the edges there, and then X, and delete those edges out, which is really cool. Now, I have found sometimes when I do this, it almost confuses Blender, and you get this going backwards. Basically, if I just press Alt and N, and then flip this, you see something where it looks like they've disappeared, and if you go into X-ray mode, you can see it is there, but it's the wrong way round. Now, if that is going on, all you need to do most of the time is just come to that face, Alt and N, and then flip it. So, how can we make this better? Well, this is an opinion of what I think is better. You can just stick with this if you want to, but what I'm going to do is delete out this solidify modifier, and instead we're going to add a geometry node modifier, and we'll have a look at why. So let's come down here, drag up, we want geometry nodes, so there we go, and we're going to click new, and for me this always ends up really small, so I just press A and then the decimal point on my number pad. Let's N to get rid of that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add in a few nodes. We're going to add in an extrude node, put that there, and then that extrudes everything out. So we've basically got our solidify done through this extrude node instead, and we can control the offset as much as we want. Let's put that back to 1. Now, this does have a slight problem to it. If I isolate this, you'll see that we get no back to it, which is a problem. So all we need to do is use a join geometry node to join the original mesh that was that to this. So let's just drag that out here, join geometry node, and then we'll just drag this in here and then to there, and now we've got this looking sort of right, but actually it's still wrong. Let's just fix this. We'll talk about why. I'll come up here. If I put my face orientation, you can see this bit. Okay, well actually the original geometry is the wrong way round. So let's just Shift A. We're going to flip. There we go, flip faces. Bring that in there. Now everything is right, but it's still not actually connected together. I'll just demonstrate this. What we'll do is we will apply these modifiers, and if I go into vertex mode and G, you can see they weren't connected. Let's just go back to the point where this is back. So all we need to do is a merge by distance, similar to the standard function, and now that will be merged together. Now, why am I doing this differently? Well, the reason I'm doing this is because of this extrude mesh and the fact that we have an offset option here. Let's just come out of isolation mode so we can see this nicely. Now, what I'm actually wanting to do is make it so that every single one of these is slightly different. I don't want it to be a constant thickness. Now, if you do want it to be a constant thickness, just stick with a solidify modifier. But I'm going to add in a random value, There we go. And I can set what I want this to be between. Let's say 0.3 and 1.3, something like that. I can drag that into my value. And now these will be different sizes. And I can move this seed, and you can see they're all slightly different thicknesses. And this is randomized, so I can change this as much as I want. Now, just something to be aware of here, and I want to really highlight this. This might be something you want or something you don't want, depending on your use. If I go into whichever mode here, and I add an edge loop there, and I add an edge loop maybe there, you can see that this actually does this for every single face individually, which could look really cool because I could add in loads of these little greebly bits, and they're all at different thicknesses. Now, this is fantastic except for one problem. If we're using this for 3D printing, let's just apply this, just apply all, and go into face mode, these faces here have not been cut off. So you are basically creating some geometry. Well, that one seems to have worked. Oh no, there we go. It'll be this face there. There'll be another one. There we go. This won't be 3D printable. It will cause loads of problems because of the overlapping faces. And at the moment, I haven't found a good way of solving this. If there is one, please feel free to say in the comments section, but I just want to highlight that if I go to vertex mode and come to the merge vertices and the split edges by faces, and then G and then hit enter, this doesn't work. This hasn't solved the problem, and that's normally my go-to. It's sort of, oh, maybe it sort of worked. It's worked there, but I don't think it's worked on all the faces. Let's select that face. No, see, it hasn't worked there. So it does some things to solve it, but you'd have to come in and change all of this individually. Now, if you're doing this not for 3D printing, this won't be any hassle at all. You can just stick with it as it is because you're not worried about overlapping geometry. So this is a perfectly usable solution. But if you're doing this for 3D printing, when you do this, let's just go back. If you do want to add in some additional edges, for example, let's say I want to put an edge loop here, and then in vertex mode, let's just E and then Y that up there. What you're going to need to do is just go into edge mode, select those edges, X, delete out those edges, and then L and then F to bring back the face. So you do need to have a little bit of care with this, or alternatively, actually thinking about this, you should be able to just select everything there and then press F. There we go. That will solve it as well. And that's probably the easier and quicker way to do it. And doing that isn't particularly hard. Let's just do the same thing again here. So E and X that out. All we need to do, instead of selecting everything, which you can do, you can also just hold your mouse over it, hit L, F, and the L works by selecting all the linked vertices. So anyway, I think this is really nice. It gives you a load of control here. We can play around with this seed to change thicknesses as much as we want, and just make all of our sci-fi greebles really quickly and easily. It does really save some time when we can do this so quickly. So anyway, hopefully that's going to be useful. I think it's something nice and fun to play around with, and it does make doing this much quicker than doing all these individual panels. If you found this useful and you think it deserves it, please hit that like button. It helps make it easier for other people to find. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed for more great Blender content, and I hope to see you on the next video. Have a great day, guys.